Alright, mayong adlaw! Wow, ang hina. Mayong adlaw! Alright, so, how many of you guys here are involved with startups? Raise your hand. I just want to see. Wala. Really? How many of you, oh, there at the back, thank you. How many of you are devs? Startup founders, developers, nice, thank you. Freelancers, how many of you here are freelancers? Nice. All right. What about, sorry, parang hindi ko magamit yung clicker. So, how many of you here can code at all? Nice. So same, ako hindi din ako marunong mag-code. Right? Now, ito yung matindi. How many of you don't know why you're here? Raise your hand. Okay? Okay. We call these types of people, na kidnap. Right? So if you're kidnapped, don't worry. Hopefully you'll enjoy this afternoon because here's what I want you guys to understand. Thank you for showing up. Okay? 80% of success is showing up. And of course, I just want to share gratitude to WordCamp for inviting me here. And yeah, now since you guys showed up, here's what I have in store for you guys. So in the next 30 minutes or less, okay, hopefully I can deliver 4 things for you guys. Okay lang ba? Number 1 is profitable. I'm gonna be sharing something that might be very profitable for you. How many of you like money? Wow, nice. More energy when it comes to money. That's very interesting. Thank you. How many of you want more meaning into your life? When I say meanings, thank you. When I say meaning, you wake up, siguro marami kang pera, but sometimes there's just times in your life where you wake up and nakakainis naman to. You know, you just don't feel like working. Okay, so hopefully I can give you guys that. Something scalable as well and impactful. So what's the difference between meaningful and impactful? So sometimes, for me, what is meaningful is a vacation. Is that necessarily impactful? Siguro sa mga tourists, to the places I go to, right? So, okay lang ba? In the next 30 minutes, I'll be showing you guys this. Raise your hand if you're okay. All right. So, let me just introduce myself. I'm Cris, and I started my business in my living room. Now, it's a very interesting thing because when I started business, whenever it rains, I will always remember because it would drip in my living room. The best part here is that apat kami. We started my company with 4 people. 2 of them are no longer part of the company. But one of the biggest insecurities we have is that when we have guests, we cannot even use our own toilets because it's clogged. So it's very interesting. Now, after a few years, we've moved offices, and we've scaled to around 4 people. Now, I'm a founder of 3 startups, CV, PrimeOff, and Prime Media Hub. I'm a senator in JCI. I've helped businesses scale. If you've seen here, one of our clients have scaled to $2.6 million. We've helped businesses all over the world scale from 6 figures per year, turning 7 to 8 figures per year. And we even have local startups who are earning over 100 or 300 plus thousand dollars in the Philippines. So pretty good stuff, right? I'm digital marketer certified, and I'm currently studying at Cornell University digital business leadership. Now, tech, right? There's a lot of talks with technology, and what's fun here is that despite the fact that technology has evolved in a way where, frankly speaking, I mean, life has been very comfortable at this age and time, there are still tech and moral problems to think about. So, for example, misinformation, deepfakes. This guy was pretending to be Tom Cruise. How many of you have seen the Apple Vision Pro sa keynote? Yeah, man. Masarap magpabudol kay Apple, right? Responsible adoption of tech and disruptive tech. For example, every time we create new new and disruptive tech, there are things that pop up that we don't take into account. For example, when the railroads were created, one of the pitches was that they were able to cure tuberculosis faster. But what ended up happening was that the spread of the disease was spread faster because of the railroads. So it's very interesting. And the biggest question here is that as we create more technology, more disruptive tech, who's accountable? How many of you have created a new account sa social media ni Mark Zuckerberg, Threads? Raise your hand. Wow, one, two, yeah. So it's very interesting, right? Because there's so much controversy coming from that tech, right? So the question is, who the heck are we, taking into accountable? Look at these guys, right? They're the founders of multi-billion companies, and yet they're fighting in a cage match. Don't mind me. I'm not judging them. This, for me, this is the most entertaining part of the year. I love this so much. What's the word I'm looking for? I didn't even think this was possible. But the point here is that these are the people, that are basically creating these technologies, and here we are. We're gonna see them beat each other up. So, real exciting stuff. Okay. ChatGPT. How many of you have ever used ChatGPT? Raise your hand. How many of you like ChatGPT? Oh, nice. How many of you don't like ChatGPT? Yeah, that's honest. Okay? So, essay due in 5 minutes, ChatGPT. And here's the fun part. One thing I don't like about this is that a lot of people use AI for shortcuts. AI would be a very great tool for, what's the word I'm looking for people who have mastered the game, right? If you've mastered coding, if you've mastered copywriting, AI is a pretty good tool. Okay? So, there even came a point in my life where, rather than ask me questions, maybe you could Google it. Now, ngayon, hindi na Google, ChatGPT na. Right? If you could use ChatGPT, that would be great. And there was even a point in my life where I run a company, a digital marketing company, and using ChatGPT, I've narrowed down, or siguro our productivity increased maybe 10 to 20%, 20 times. But here's the thing, I've also realized that ChatGPT is also a very scary disruptive tech for my field, right? When I realized that ChatGPT can do my job for me. So, very interesting stuff, okay? Now, and if left unchecked, disruptive tech, we would be creating cyberpunk dystopias. How many of you are excited for cyberpunk dystopias? Diba? May mga mantis blades and all of that, right? But then again, what is life like when that happens? Okay? At the end of the day, the rich would be richer, the poor would still suffer, despite the advancement of tech. Okay? Human desire tends to be, and I might butcher the way I pronounce this, insatiable. So, if left unchecked, we would be creating cyberpunk dystopias, which is something that we would like to avoid, assuming, war doesn't kill us first. So, this is why, going back to Maslow's hierarchies of needs. How many of you are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Raise your hand. Yeah. So, a lot of people think that the top portion of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is self-actualization. Right? Self-actualizing is when you realize that you have power to control your reality, your life, and you're 100% responsible. Transcendence is a realm beyond that. Okay? And that's what I want to share tonight. So, this is a spiritual concept. Now, it's weird, right? We're in a tech event and we're talking about spirituality. And don't worry, guys, I'm not gonna be preaching religion. But this is a very interesting concept. In Kabbalah, which is a topic for another day, they believe in two universes, the universe of knowledge and the universe of truth. Universe of knowledge is according to them, is our physical world. It's how we experience the world. So human limitation, power, human potential, self-actualization. We're able to physically take power into our own hands and choose what we want out of life. But at sometimes at the cost of burnout. Like, for example, how many of you here consider yourselves self-made? Like you in some way or form, you grew up struggling and you've made it in some way or form. Raise your hand. Yeah, right? So, that's what's amazing. You know, you get to decide your fate. Okay? The universe of truth is a bit different. So it's like letting go and letting God. Letting go of your ego. It's more intuitive. There's a flow in your workspace. Like flow is like flow. You've siguro in sports, you know, if you've watched Kuroko no Basket, that's flow, the magic eye thing that they have. Right? There's meaning, there's grounding, there's love, there's transcendence, you know, tatavam asi, all of that stuff. So, and the whole point here is that we merge knowledge and truth, and that becomes our entire being. Okay? So we're using technology and spirituality to be, basically. And here's a technique and a very simple concept for us, a framework that you can use to conjure this concept into your startups, into your company, into your life. Okay, it's called design thinking. How many of you have heard of this before, design thinking? Okay. Design thinking is not you designing posters. So, it's you creating frameworks that impact the most. Okay? So number one, you empathize. You have to remember that technology was made for people. Technology was made for people to use to solve problems, what's the word I'm looking for? To help solve a pain point in someone else's life. Okay? So, you're solving a problem for somebody or for a certain demographic of people. Your technology is not there to serve itself. Okay? Next, right? So you empathize. What sort of problem do I want to solve out of life, right? In life. Then next, you define what's your problem statement. And one of the best techniques that I have that I've learned while working with communities is the 5 whys. You ask why 5 times. Okay, so why are people poor? Because of this, because of that. Why? Because maybe this. Why? Until you reach the root cause. Usually, it only takes 5 times. One thing that would help you guys define better is that for most people, sometimes they don't use avatars. They don't define who their customer is, or they don't define who they're making this new feature or product of technology. So, avatars involve knowing what their goals and values are, what sources of information they get. Demographic, taga saan sila? Are they from Iloilo? Are they from Manila? Are they from Europe? Maybe North Korea? What's their challenges? What's their pain point? What objection to the sale do they have? And from here, you create ideas. Okay? And from creating ideas, you prototype. You create the prototype, and here's where most tech companies also don't. Here's why most tech companies also don't make money. They don't make customer value journeys. A customer value journey is basically how you convert someone who doesn't know what your brand is or what your business is into raving fans who would share your business. And of course, there's earning beyond the form, right? Like for example, with with McDonald's, right? How many of you know what business McDonald's is in? It's not the burger business, it's real estate. Okay? So, and you test the idea. Now, real life example. So we've created how has design thinking manifested in our startup. So one of my startups is called CV. So it's not a play on my name, well, it kind of is. Curriculum Vitae. So it's a freelance marketplace. And how we got here is that when I was creating one of my other startups, Primoff, it's a digital marketing agency. I found out that number one, how many of you have realized that when you're really good at something, there's just too many clients to accept. Basically, you have a certain capacity only to deliver results, right? So you only have a limited number of clients that you can accept, right? So, and from there, I've come to realize that, okay, I can't be selfish here, I can't just be selfish here and not refer or not give others the opportunity to close these high-ticket clients. So what we've decided to create is we've decided to create a freelance marketplace for for most virtual careers, but for now we're starting with digital marketers, and scale, basically. Now, one of the things we've also done is we've partnered with certain organizations. These are from Presso Foundation. How many of you are familiar with Presso Foundation? So these guys are people who are helping ex-cons go back to society, right? So we've partnered with organizations like them, wherein we've trained and teach their clients. And what's best about these is that what I like about partnering with them is that they do the filtering, right? The ex-cons that actually wanna be part of society again and actually wanna do the work are being filtered through the foundation and then sent to us for us to train. And here's the fun part. Some of their clients have never held laptops before. Some of their clients have never even imagined that it was possible for them to create websites. Okay? And it's only possible because of today's technology. Okay? We have partnered with organizations where single moms and mothers who have also never made websites in the past be able to create websites in less than 2 weeks. So it's a whole new other crazy experience. So imagine, no, people deprived of liberty through education and through the marketplace were given jobs through CV. Okay? So, and it's not just these companies, right? I'm gonna show you guys some examples of other ways you guys can also do design thinking. So maybe, you could also start using AI to create your ads or use AI to supplement something that people need. For example, AdCreatives.ai use AI for companies to create paid ads. Or maybe you could leverage what is already existing. GHL is a software company, software as a service company, where they help agencies basically scale and save over $6,000 per month with whatever they have, right? Next, this could also be a very disruptive way. If your startup has the capacity to charge, this might be the wrong company, but there's a company here where they're a creatives company, and it's called No Limits Creatives. They have the capacity to dole out unlimited creatives services to multiple clients, almost like a software, but still relying on freelancers all over to deliver. So, and it doesn't just stop there. It doesn't have to be a software. It doesn't have to be a tech company. Maybe it's hardware. So, Mickey Agral, Tushi, um, her business is basically toilet seats, okay? And it's geared towards a more comfortable experience for women. So she's using hardware, technology, toilet seats to scale. This guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but this guy is basically changed the way sanitary napkins, how accessible sanitary napkins is for women in India. So, and this his story is actually pretty interesting. He noticed that his wife was suffering, and then for some reason, to test his product, he actually started using it himself. So his entire town thought he was crazy and actually ostracized him. His wife left him, but eventually, what he created has helped so many people, at least in his community. Right? And I leave you guys with this. At the end of the day, tech and spirituality may not be that, what's the word I'm looking for? That far apart. So if tech and spirituality aren't aligning with your business, then you're not looking hard enough. So with that said, thank you.